Welcome to this very special edition of the KAJ Masterclass Live, the show which ensures that you profit from your time spent here with experts, either through their industry insights, information, or simply learning from them. And today we have Dr. Carlos Davidovich. He is a medical doctor, TEDx speaker, and international executive coach. Welcome to the show, Dr. Carlos.
Thanks a lot, AJ, for your invitation. I'm delighted to be here.
You are welcome to the show. You are welcome to India in this online form. And I'm sure not just in India, but a lot of people will benefit from what we are talking about. We'll be talking about harnessing the true potential of our brains. So, Dr. Carlos, I want to understand, why is it that we have not been able to harness the true potential of our brains? Is it for the good? Is it for the bad? What will the true potential harnessing be like? Will it be good? Will it be bad? Help us understand. Let us talk about it all.
Excellent question. Hey, I love what you say. For good or for bad, depends on for what for. So the old quote about know yourself. This is all a civilization, the philosophical thing. This is another, I will say, concept that will go into this know yourself. Normally, we don't truly understand I like to call it all the players that we have inside of us, all the different characters that can determine the way we act, the way we make decisions, and the way we finally walk through life. I like to share, that's my area of expertise, how more or less how the brain works in a very practical way. So it's mainly about human behavior. I understand that the brain, the model or the framework I like to share is a framework of different brains, 5 brains, because it helps to understand in a more clear way how these different characters inside of us, they play with each other. So we talk about the 3 brains here, where instinct, emotions, and rational, let's say, thoughts and behavior are connected. Of course, they are all intertwined, but in the end, which one is in charge will determine the way that we will express our life, that we will talk to people, and mainly the way we will make decisions. As a human being, we prefer, let's say it's a choice, to believe that we are fully rational beings. And that is the first paradigm that I would say, to break or to turn somehow. We are not mainly rational beings. We are mainly emotional beings. And I know that the word emotional has a very negative marketing. People use the word emotion in a negative way.
Yeah.
But that is not what I'm talking about. At least 80% of the A0 of the inputs that we receive to function in our daily life comes from emotions and from instinct. And only 20% come from our rational analysis. Don't get me wrong, we need all of them, but we need all of them connected and working in a very balanced way, So let's say, if our instincts are in charge, many times happen in our daily life, or when we see people arguing with each other, trying to use rational thinking, but they are not, they try to win a conversation, a discussion, or whatever. So in that case, remember, instinct is about survival. Survival is about I survive or I kill. You know what I mean? Black and white. So there's no way to do a win-win deal in those circumstances. If I'm inside of me, what is leading are my emotions, then depends, positive emotions or negative emotions. If it's about fear, again, we will awake the survival mode because it's fear. But if it's about positive emotion or positive feelings, trying to solve the situation, because we have compassion, we have empathy, we can connect with our person, the person is in front of me, then I will be able to arrive to a very, very fair conclusion and to agree on something with the person I'm discussing or I'm talking to. And then the emotional brain in a positive state can leverage all the rational power of our rational brain. Make sense so far, AG?
Absolutely, absolutely, a lot of sense. And you have written a book called Five Brain Leadership. So
Yes.
tell us a bit more about the five brain leadership. We have not been able to understand one brain fully. You talk about five brains. I want to delve a bit deeper into that so that we understand our brains, our all the other brains in a very nice manner to make our lives, our society better, humanity better, because you see what we have done to everything.
Yeah.
So I want to understand what is this five brain leadership all about, because so that some of this brain gets into our leadership all over the world,
Absolutely.
and the world becomes a better place in all spheres of life.
Totally agree with you. This is about how to make this place better, and mainly how to connect in a positive way with people. I mean, and
Right.
to create this community that can take the world to a better place. To be honest, I divided in five to make it easier to understand, not too complicated. So, but you're right, sounds more complicated, because I want that people will clearly understand the different departments that we have inside. And you, Ajay, you mentioned leadership. Well, in my, I would say, philosophy, or the way I think, to be able to be a good leader outside, you need to be a good leader inside first. And that is knowing who you are. Are you predominantly an instinctual personality? You're predominantly an emotional, which kind of emotion? Or you try to be rational, but you're not. The five are three here. We know today that our heart has neurons, brain cells, and we know, because became very famous, that our digestive system has a complete nerve system inside. Each of them has different function, but the five of them are completely intertwined, connected, and in the end, the results will be the way we behave, the way we talk, the way we connect with people, but mainly the way we connect with ourselves. So if I can understand and I can learn how to organize my internal team, that's what I call it, the internal team, then I can understand better other people, I can help better, I can support better, I can become a more productive, if you like the word, or more effective leader outside. Without knowing how my internal team is acting, is interacting, and is responding to my needs, it's very hard to be good leader outside. Make sense what I'm saying?
Absolutely, absolutely. And who is this book for then? The five brain leadership. Is it for the leadership,
Yes.
or is it for general people?
I mean, you will see that first of all, I don't talk about science. I don't, because I think that too many scientific books out there. That was not the purpose of my book. The purpose of my book is to make it simpler without going to any scientific definition for the general public, and mainly for people working in any kind of organization, profit, non-profit. The majority of human beings, everybody works. So in the interaction with other people at working level, that is what I was trying to bring, let's say, my contribution to help them understand themselves better, and therefore to be able to connect better with the rest of human beings.
Right, right, Dr. Carlos. Now let's look at it this way. You are you are also a coach. You provide a lot of coaching expertise to a lot of leaders. You draw upon your medical background and understanding of the brain to provide a unique coaching experience to top business leaders and organizations, all based on neuroscience. You talk
Yes.
about building better teams using neuroscience.
Yes,
How do you, what is it that leaders come to you? What is it that they want from you? What is it that you inject into their brains?
exactly.
Because from your understanding of the brain itself. you know so tell us through that, and we will understand what leaders are struggling about their brains, or about how the brain of their company is working, or the heart of the company is working. What is the heart of the matter in all these things? Help us through that, so that we can understand what is it that a lot of other people can derive from such interactions, from your experiences, what leaders are searching for, what ways you are taking care of their needs.
Great, fantastic. As I say before, I don't want to make it complicated. I want to make it simpler. The way I listen in my coaching practice is not the traditional way, based on my background. So I'm biased, let's say, in that direction. I try always to read between the lines, because what we think we are saying is not exactly what we are saying. And when leaders comes to me as a coach, as executive coach, because I can understand a little bit more better, or to clarify exactly what's going on. Let's say, to define and to arrive to a good diagnosis, let's use a medical term. And then we can, if we have a good, remember, in medicine, it's not about the treatment, it's about diagnosis. In human behavior, it's the same. So if I understand exactly what's going on, then I can find a better response or a better solution. The way I listen in my coaching practice is always based on how the brain works. I don't need to explain about how the brain works, but I need to learn, and to learn what is uh, behind my client's, let's say, intent. There is one very common issue, let's say, in communication. There is the gap between intent and impact. We
Right.
don't we think, no, my intention was great, I'm a good person, blah, blah, blah. I don't, I'm not discussing that, but the impact on others maybe is not that good, because intent depends on me, but impact depends on the other. So I need to be aware also the impact of my communication. And all those things are the things that help me to coach in a different way. Make sense? So what I'm
Yes.
trying to do, the way I help, and why, the reason that, thanks God, I mean, I'm working with a lot of people all over the world, is because they feel that I can really understand what's going on. I'm not saying I have the formula to understand every human being, because that's not true. But I have some tools where I can really help better. At the moment we understand the reason behind, the real reasons, or the real motivation, let's call it motivation better, then we can find a more accurate solution.
Absolutely, absolutely, Dr. Carlos. You talk about using our magical minds, maximize our brains in terms of you talk about maximizing our energy, not our time. What
Good.
does it mean? How understanding our brain can maximize our energy. This is something a lot of people would want to. They would not be wanting to depend on all those colas and drinks, rather than use brain to maximize their energy. Why to go for energy drinks?
Let's talk about the truth finally, Ajay. I mean, we are deceiving ourselves. Time management. Everybody went through a time management training, all of us, many times. This is the wrong target. And when you are aiming the wrong target, you will never arrive to the right solution. People think that they can manage time. This is completely wrong. Human being cannot manage time. Time is a conventional thing that is not manageable. It's fixed. It's the fixed component of the equation. What we are managing all the time, and there is a medical terminology for that called allostasis, we are managing our energy all the time. More you know about how your energy express itself inside of you and outside, you have more power. And to make it simple, if I feel with energy, I do more. If I feel without energy, tired, for instance, I do less. It's a practical way. There are different techniques and picks on how to leverage better my own energy. Let's talk about what really is. We don't manage time. We manage energy all the time in a conscious and non-conscious way. What I'm trying to say is let's be conscious about how to manage better our energy, and we will become a lot more productive and efficient and better communicator. So everything will go up. At the moment, I really understand. For instance, I ask many times to my coaches, when you went to that meeting, some meeting that was an issue, which energy you went into that meeting? And it's fascinating when they really just stop and think about the energy. Say, well, I was not exactly with the best energy in that day. And then all the consequences were there. So there was no solution, there was a fight, there was not, nobody arrived to the right end. But because you came with the wrong energy, definitely we can be aware, what we can determine what is the best energy for me in different situations, and we can work on that in a conscious way. That's the power of our brain.
Right, right. So I want to understand. Normally, we learn. I may be wrong, but correct me. I read it a long time ago that it is the mitochondria of the cells which has the powerhouse of our cells.
Yes.
How and what is the difference between this mitochondria as well as the brain power which creates that energy? Are these two energies different, or are they the same and they are emanating from two places?
You are getting to a more profound level of communication now. And it's not usual. I tell you, I do many podcasts. Nobody asks about the mitochondria because nobody knows. And you're talking about, I will say, the power plant of our body. So when we say I have energy, the truth is I have energy in my mitochondria. That's for sure. When I say I don't have energy, my mitochondria is out of energy. The mitochondria is the reservoir of energy in our body. The mitochondria, for those of your audience that don't understand, the mitochondria are located inside the cells all over the body. But there is a very nice information. The cells that have more mitochondria inside are the neurons.
Okay.
The neurons has the largest proportion of mitochondria as cell in the body. That has a common sense because the neurons needs a lot of more energy than the rest of the body to be able to function. Remember, the brain represents the 2% of all the body mass and consumes between 20 and 25% of the energy. So the brain needs a lot of more mitochondria. And then when we are feeding with our positive energy our mitochondria, and then we take it from mitochondria to use it. So is a reservoir. We get all the energy to be able to function. Am I responding your question, Jay?
Yes, indeed, doctor. You have responded it well. Now let's understand about stress management. You talk about 5 brains, but when we have a bit of stress, we always hold it here. Why is it always here, not anywhere else if we have got 5 brains? Help us understand this so that we can manage and how. See, if we are not well, if we have got some infection, the body shows that symptom in the form of fever or anything. Or anything happens, it comes in the form of pain. If you have problem in your knees, it will come in the form of pain.
Yeah.
What about the headache and stress? Headache we know, but when it becomes, it's all here. How do we take care of what is the body indicating? What is my brain indicating? Is it a symptom of something? Is it something bigger? How should I take care of my brain? And why is it only here? Why not all the 5 brains? Help us understand this.
That's really another very good question, Ajay. Stress, first of all, I want to clarify that is in the book. Stress is normal. This is a misunderstanding. Stress is a system, a mechanism of our body to be able to deal with the world. Without stress, we cannot even cross the street. Nothing. We cannot wake up, get up from the bed. Stress is normal. What we call stress is distress, or let's say too much stress. It's like the engine of the car is working at high speed for too long, and then the engine itself has a problem. Stress affects all my body, not my head. So the brain, we can call it the headquarter of management. Yeah, here is the executive leadership team are here located, let's say, are in the heart, in our guts. But the whole team is the whole body. Emotions are in our whole body. Stress affects in a very negative way, when this is in excess, the whole body. There is no one place. We feel tired here, but also our muscles are painful, and we cannot walk properly. So the whole body is affected by stress. Can we control stress? Definitely yes. What we need to be aware, and that's what I work with my clients, is to identify when it's enough. So when I need to stop and rest. I will not call it rest, because people, you know what, in this world, we don't want to rest. We need to work. You cannot rest. So I call it recharge the batteries. So, we need to recharge batteries. That is a concept that everybody understands. Recharging batteries is an understandable concept, and everybody understands that it's a need. You cannot use your cell phone, your mobile phone, for more than the battery can allow you to. You need to recharge it. The same with the computer. So what I'm trying to say is, you cannot definitely manage stress without understanding the impact of stress. And this is a very important concept. And it's about a belief. The belief that you can be in charge and that you can control your stress. Why I talk about belief? Because based on our belief is the way we behave. So if I believe I can be in control, I will do my best to be in control. If I believe I cannot, I'm out of the game just from the beginning. So what I try to instill in my clients, and through the book and through the TEDx, is definitely you can be in a healthy control of your life. Let's identify, or let's define your personalized way to do it, because we are not the same. We have common factors that I can bring to every conversation, but I need to know who you are and what you want. Then we will find out how to do it.
Absolutely, Dr. Carlos. One more question. In today's time, when there is so much of distraction, use of social media, use of, all forms of methods, artificial intelligence that is now letting you not use less of your brain, and and now you are depending on more of the artificial intelligence tools in every sphere of our life, in terms of creativity, even images they will create. So almost every sphere they are the artificial intelligence. In these times, is this good for the brain? Is this bad for the brain? What, or if it is not good, then how do I protect my brain? How do I utilize my brain? You talk about 5 brains. I'm not able to utilize now. New brains have come in the form of artificial intelligence. How will I find my true potential, harness the true potential of my brain, when the society itself will not allow me? The leadership is saying be more productive, use artificial intelligence so that you can do your job quickly. What I have learned, Dr. Carlos, is that a lot of things that are needed for society you learn with time. You may have the most productive people, supercomputers, but empathy and everything else, if you don't learn along with time, after some time there will be a huge number of people, humanoids, who are working at a very, very fast rate, but there will be no brains thinking about the society, thinking about the larger issues. Amidst all these things, so how do we protect the brains? who will actually protect humanity going forward.
Can I challenge your thoughts?
Yes, yes, indeed.
Do you remember when we were in the cave time? No, no,
I
not
was,
too long, no long ago, not long ago. So short memory.
right,
We didn't have a lot of tools to deal with our life in the cave time. So we
right,
were not able to access and to do many things. Then, through evolution, and I call it evolution, we were creating new tools and new things that we were able to use our brain in a much better and productive way. I'm totally pro technology. I tell you why. Because technology is not replacing brain, it's helping brain. I can do a lot of more. It's not about information. It's not about the amount of information. It's what do you do with that information?
right.
Intelligence is how to leverage that information. And two people will do it differently. Depends on their intelligent understanding. This is one concept. The concept is I think that still we are in a process of development as humanity, and that more we have technological talking in a positive way, better we can do with our brains. We can find different pathways, even though in our brain we are developing different pathways thanks to this. I see it totally different. Now, this is one thing. The other thing is about free will, love, compassion, empathy. Those are choices. And those are the things that we need to understand more and more how important they are in our daily life. We are not robots, and we will never be robots. We are human beings with a very powerful emotional component. If we don't understand that part, we are not really leveraging ourselves as a human being. I'm an emotional being that can use technology. I can, and it's my choice, my decision on how to use it. You can say, Ajay, yeah, it can be used for good or for bad. That's true. This is a choice. I want to use it for good. I want to use it to help humanity to grow. I don't do it through technology. I do it through coaching in my case. But now you and me are able to talk. I guess you in India, I'm in Spain, thanks to technology. So we are able to help, or to, let's say, to provide a lot of people with certain information thanks to you and your podcast because of technology. And then we can talk about, and I will say it in a very respectful way, love, compassion, empathy. I mean, the way we connect with each other, that will impact even more and more people. So let's not miss the point. Is those are tools. Every tools can be used for good or for bad. It depends on the person that is managing the tools. So where we need to work internally, let me use the word spiritually, is how to put myself in the right place. And then I will know how to use those tools in the right directions. Still is our choice. And let's be responsible of that. Let's be accountable of our actions. I can use technology, of course, but technology is not managing me. I manage technology. I decide to go. I decide to consult. I decide to use it on my phone or to stop using it. But I love to have it because I can be connected, anything happen, whatever. But it's still, as a human being, I'm not replaceable by technology. It's
Absolutely.
okay.
Absolutely, absolutely great insights. In fact, that's very reassuring, sir. I can tell you that. And I'm sure a lot of young people who have many questions, there are many questions about artificial intelligence, especially with the way people want to think about it. Whenever they watch this podcast, listen to it, they will get a new insight and by reassuring one for moving forward. So that is very good. And it is good that you have shared that perspective. There is much to understand and know about our brain, about everything else, about love, compassion, empathy, and everything else. And for that, people will need to come to you. For leaders, for executive coaching, they will have to come to you. And so, what is the best way for them to learn from you and also to connect so that they can engage with you in professional capacity?
Today, the easiest way is I have my website, carlosdavidovich.com. And in LinkedIn, I mean, just put Carlos Davidovich, I mean, and you can find myself and you can connect with me. That is the easiest way, I mean, the fastest way to connect with me. And there is a book, there is a TEDx in YouTube as well that you can watch it. But I said again, I mean, through my website, I think is the best. You can send me an email and we will be connected as much as you want.
Wonderful, wonderful. With this, it's a wrap on this very special edition of the KAJ Masterclass Live. Thank you so much indeed for joining us.
Thanks, Ajay. Bye-bye.
Bye.